Chris, thanks for that. Cheers, man. Didn't even realise a minute gone already and I was on mute. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. How's everyone doing, man? I mean, that game. Do you know what was funny? Because I actually thought there was extra. Sorry, there was. It would go on to penalties if Chelsea had scored, and then to hear that there would have been extra time if they'd have scored. I thought, you know what? If it was going that way, we'd beat them in extra time. But the way we played, I mean, it was always like a 0-0. It had 0-0 written all over it because that first half was awful. Um, Second half, do you know what? It was to be honest, it was all about getting a result and getting to Wembley. I mean, I didn't like the performance, but I just had this feeling we wasn't going to lose the game. But we cannot afford to do that in a final or any other game. You know, we cannot afford to do that. Well, we've got a squad that's capable of winning games convincingly, if you know what I mean. And I just, I when the goal went in, I celebrated, but it's like I'm thinking, wow, is this real? Because it just reminded me of a George Graham performance from the '90s. I mean, hence why my background is you see Tony Adams there. You got Big Niall Quinn and our former captain Kenny Sansom with his only trophy there, the Littlewoods Cup, our first League Cup. But yeah, but like I said, I'm so happy we're at Wembley. This is what it's about, you know, building on this and then giving the players that experience to win something and push them on, you know, throughout the rest of the season as we're still in all competitions. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just for anyone who fancies coming on. Hello, Chris. Thanks for that. Anyone fancies coming on? The link is there in the description. Yeah, thanks, Chris, for that, mate. Thank you, buddy. Hope you're good, man. Hope you're good. Yeah. Do you know what? I probably would have if I was home, but I was watching at work at the time. So, yeah, I don't think I would have. I mean, it was a boring game, mind you, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are there. And I think we deserve to win it over the two legs in the end. Especially in final. Good luck in final. Better team went through for me. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. Totally agree. But yeah, so for tonight, I mean, I was looking at that game, right, and I just thought who stood out for me tonight? I mean, I didn't think our forwards did as well as they should. Really, I wasn't impressed with any of them tonight. You know what I mean? Noni, Martinelli, a lot of inconsistencies with those two. Who knows? They'll probably have a great game against Sunderland this Saturday. But we need from our players. We need week in week out performances, regardless whether we win, lose, or draw. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I thought our midfield was okay. I mean, Eze for me wasn't at his best, but he kept probing. I thought, see, with Rice and Zubimendi, I think Rice needs to go in the 6 and Zubimendi in the 8. You know, I think as good as those two are. I mean, Zubimendi, people say what they want about Zubimendi, but he's not a DM as far as I'm concerned. He's not a DM. I play him in the 8. You know, and you watch him in the World Cup this summer, he's not going to be in a 6. Trust me, I'll be shocked if he is. You know, I just felt that we did control the midfield, not entirely, not for the whole game, but it was just the way I was a bit surprised the way Chelsea set up. You know what I mean? They set up the way we would set up away from home, and I thought, you know, if they hadn't set up that way, who knows? But You know what? It's all about what ifs and everything else. But hey, who cares? But I thought our back line did well today. You know, I thought they really did. They didn't look like they were in any trouble at times. See, and Gabriel were just their usuals. One thing I will say about Gabriel, which he did against United last week, he's got to stop. He's got to stop putting his hands behind his back and turning away from the ball, because if that had gone in like the Cunha strike last week, I wouldn't have been happy. But it was. But then again, saying that, I mean, Enzo was the only one who looked at like, and he was the only threat really in terms of going for goal, and most of the times they end up in row Z. But I thought Kepa didn't really have much apart from one save in the first half from from Enzo. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to talk much about the game, but I don't really need to talk about the game too tough. But I will talk about Kai Havertz, who for me, I wouldn't start him week in, week out. I mean, I know he's not there yet as far as I'm concerned. He's getting there, but for me, he's a squad player, and for me, he could do a job. He's he's got an important part to play. This season definitely, just like Gabriel Jesus has, and we know he did have stinkers at times. And Victor Gyökeres did have the best game today. But yeah, I'm just over the moon. I'm really happy, and right now I've got what have I got here? Just this old retro scarf. Would you believe I bought this? I've lost count how many times I've washed it. A bit like Trigger's broom, And he's had it changed so many times, hasn't he? What, 14 handles and 16 brushes or something like that? Yeah, but with this, and I'm not giving away with the old school badge. I got this in '93, about a couple of weeks just before the '93. The '93. I went to get tickets for the '93 semi-finals against Palace for the second leg, and yep, still going strong. It's out there, but yeah, not giving it away. No star price today. You know what I mean, but what's that? Final, 22nd of March. Super Bowl clear by then. Who knows? Well, you see, the thing is here, Chris. Also, I wanted us to pull away. Well, I wanted us to pull away in a league because after the Villa game, we didn't win for what, 3 league games, and if we'd have pulled away, who knows? We could, if we do win the league, you want to get it wrapped up even before the Champions League semi-finals. And I'm sure if you'd have been in the last 4 of the Champions League semi-finals, you would have been able to focus on that because you'd already won the league by then. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Supermany works better than 8. Yeah, with double pivot, similar to Thiago when he was with 100%. Yeah, he's just Chris. I don't think he's a 6. I really, really don't think he's a 6. I think he played better away from home at the moment. Yeah, I would go with that. I would go with that. And I find that we've got some crucial away games coming up. We got Brentford away next week. I think we got Spurs away towards the end of the month. And we've also got City in March as well. I think that away, but they're going to be interesting games, really interesting games. I was going to be like that. Yeah, I agree. I think we won't. Whoever we play in the final, I'm sure it'll be City. I don't think we'll go all out gung ho football. Let the players express themselves. It'll be defensive again. I'm sure he'd play for penalties on Arteta. He seriously would. sake of that anyway. But no, so I said I'm just really happy that it's only I'm not going to be on too long. I need to go to bed, but I just wanted to basically just yeah, just talk about how I'm feeling, and this is what I've wanted. I've wanted us to reach finals. I wanted us to, win trophies, get um, get that feeling of winning the trophy, win titles, and this is what it's all about for Arsenal. It's. I know quite a few people disagree, but for me, it's been ingrained in this club to challenge. I'm not saying we're going to win every year, every season, because it's proven in history that we haven't won something every season. But but to challenge, make a effort to challenge all competitions, and I will credit the manager, I will credit the players for getting us to the final. And now I think Mick Arteta really knows how important it is to reach cup finals, to let the players taste glory. There's nothing wrong with tasting glory in the cups. It's not just about winning the league, or if you don't win the league, finishing second. Oh, it's a great achievement, and you don't win anything else because if you all saw Declan Rice's interview, my fellow Gooners, well, if you saw his interview, he even said that's what you're remembered for. You're remembered for winning trophies, and I like that attitude. It's like he's more than saying no one remembers the runners up in cup finals. No one remembers who got knocked out semi final. You know what I mean? No one remembers who finished second or third in the league. Who cares? And that's what he's saying, and I like that. I like that. Top man, top man. You know what I mean? And got some more in the chat. Yeah, saying Yonkers are not bad players. Sets made look bad. Yeah, I was in one of the group chats that I'm in, and I totally agree with Neil comes on here. He's Dodsey. I totally agree with him that it's like he does Eze does look broken. He really does. I hope he starts on Saturday against Sunderland because they it's the thing about Arteta. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I won't get into that tonight anyway. You know what I mean? I'll let him off for one night. Yeah, it had to be Havertz. It had to be. I think that's the third time he's ever notched against them. I think he scored against Chelsea, didn't he? Not last season, season before, in a 5-0 win. He got a couple of goals. Yeah, it had to be. What a night. Come on, you Gunners. Big up to BX. Gunner in the house. Big up, big up. Yeah, Havertz. It's been phenomenal since he's returned. Yeah, I think he's done really well. He's done really well since he's come back, I find. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, BX, he's a squad player for me. And, with squad players, they've always got a part to play. And I think he's got a part to play. In terms of our forwards, himself, Gyökeres, who's now, I'm so glad Gyökeres has gone to double figures, and Gabriel Jesus. They've all got a part to play, all three of them. But that's if the manager lets them play. I'm not saying they're all going to play together, all three of them, but these players are so good. And we're looking kind of tight at the back again. Just let the guys play. Let them play out there. Come on. Big up to the WTT. Gary, have you got a show today? Because if you have, I'll be in the chat. I'm sure you've got one today. So I'll be up for a while tonight. I'm not going to be too long here. So yeah, if you have, mind you, it'll pop up on my phone anyhow. So yeah, definitely be tuning to and please like, share, and subscribe to all of these legends in the chat here. Yeah, City were perfect final feuds to get over the line against them. Past seasons, damage and mindset, title not sealed by then. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chris. Totally agree. I mean, it would be, but you know what? They'll probably go real low block, and then so would Arteta. It'd be typical, wouldn't it? Be like the game at the Emirates. BX saying hello to Gary. Not convincing, but you're through, so who cares? Yeah, if you win trophies like this, then shouldn't care one bit. Exactly that. And that's why over the years, when I was always disappointed with Arsenal fans when it came to this competition. I mean, look, I'm 51 years old, right? And since I was a child, I've never ever belittled any competition. You know what I mean? And if it's there to be won, beaten, then by all means, you know what I mean. Just hold on a sec, just do your best. Now the League Cup. Well, when we won it as a Little Ones Cup, we won it in '87. We beat Liverpool 2-1, and back then it was full strength teams in every round, and even though back in those days there were only like two, you could only have two subs, um, and the squads weren't very big, and I can't recall any team that had so many injuries. You know what I mean? And they were playing 42 league games as well. So it was one of them things where everyone wanted to win everything, and that's the way it should be. In 1993, when we won it, because we've only won it twice. In 1993, when we won it, again, it was full strength team. You had, say, like if you're away at Darlington, in the second round, we used to be like two legs, for example, and it'd be a full strength team. Full strength team. Managers took it seriously, you know. I know some don't now, and I get that. At the end of the day, it's up to them. But yeah, I've never ever dissed this league cup. I've never called it a Mickey Mouse competition either. I know a lot of fans do, and I think for us, we could be very hypocritical at times when we call it the Mickey Mouse Cup when other teams like Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, where they've won it over the years, and Newcastle last season, and I know some of our fans, but from what I've seen, were very salty, and I'm like, nah, it's not me. And you know what? As much as you cannot stand teams, I congratulate the winners. So it's not as prestigious as the FA Cup, but at the end of the day, it's the trophy. And more importantly, when I look at this legendary Kenny Sansom, that was the only medal he won. It was the only medal he won in his entire playing career, and he cherishes that. You know. So sometimes I think we as fans, it's not just about, oh yeah, I want Champions League or the Premier League, and I don't care about the FA Cup or the League Cup. Well, some of us as fans may not care, but players, they do. It's something to tell their children, something to tell their grandchildren. Yeah, because not many players in their lifetime, they're not going to win a hat full of trophies, hat full of medals. But if they get just that one, trust me, it's something that they'll never forget for the rest of their lives. BX. Yeah, I was highly disappointed with his performance. Like, yeah, you know what? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, BX, and yeah, it's mm, I think there's still more performances to come from him because we've seen some moments, but we're just seeing. I think from our forward players, we're just seeing a lot of inconsistent performances. We're seeing players that are 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 one week, and then another week they're 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'm with you on that, but let's just hope that he can fix up and improve his performances because this manager won't give him much of a chance because Odegaard will be back. no matter what's happened. I know he was on the bench today, but Odegaard will be back. That is the manager's favourite, and unfortunately, he's a club captain. I don't like Skull's comments about you being the most boring winners. For me, whoever wins the league deserves to win it. Same with every trophy. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. I think with Skulls, I wouldn't say it's about boring winners. I think from him, I mean, I wouldn't have said boring winners because at the end of the day, the league table doesn't lie, does it really? I think if he was to say something on the lines of, well, if this Arsenal side wins it, this Arsenal squad wins it, but it's not as good as previous Arsenal squads that have won it, then I'll be like, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, he's just being salty, only. But Paul Scholes is always salty. You know what I mean? I mean, he's so salty, he doesn't even need to put the salt in the salt and shake crisps. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, I'll be there, man. I will be there. I will be there, my friend. Definitely tuning in. So yeah, and if anything, if anyone's up tonight, please give DWTT all his love, and yeah, he'll most likely be on at half 12. Half 12. That's UK time. He'll be on Morrow and Linnigan. Yeah, who will be on Morrow and Linnigan BX? I mean, ooh, Morrow and Linnigan. Morrow was playing in midfield that day, wasn't he? He was playing in midfield. He was playing in the middle of the park with Paul Davis, if I remember correctly. And because I think that day we were playing 4-4-2. So to be our Steve Morrow, I would have to say, I'd have to say Zubimendi. I'd say you have to be Zubimendi be our Morrow if he can if he can do a Morrow, just as long as Gabriel will sleeve it, just as long as they don't drop him on his shoulder. You know what I mean? So I know that wasn't funny at the time though. And Linnigan, you see Linnigan. I think what was more significant about Linnigan's cup, FA Cup winner in that replay '93. I think it was because of the fact that Steve Bold was injured for, I think he was injured for at least a third of the season, and Linnigan came in, and he did a job. He really did a job. I mean, Keown, I think would have got in ahead of him if he wasn't cup tied for the League Cup and the FA Cup that season. So, but Linnigan, I would have to say, I'd have to say Mosquera. I'd have to say Mosquera. But I don't see Mosquera playing in. If we get any cup final, I don't see him playing any cup finals. You know, unless someone's injured. You know what I mean? But yeah, good times, man. They were good times. Real good times. Big up to Shane Gooner in the house. I mean, by hook or by crook. Yep, we're in the final. Yes, we are. I mean, I was just saying, don't want a performance like that again, my friend. No way. No way. We cannot afford to play like that because it's like I was listening to Rich and big up Rich as well. And even said if that was City we were playing tonight and we went with that mindset and that low block, we'd have got beaten tonight. No doubt about it. We would have got beaten. Seriously. But yeah. Yeah, man. No, big up to you, man. Big up to you. BX Shane Love. And Shane Love for BX. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad shout, Yeah. Norgard. Yeah, I think he'd be on Morrow. Yeah, definitely. I think Norgard's. I think he's been brilliant, man. I mean, he hasn't let us down. I mean, he's only played about what, a handful of games, if that. And I just think he's a fantastic player, you know. And I tell you what, I would I would play him. I'd actually play him against Brentford away because I think he'd have a good game. Because I would trust him to play in league games and give Zubi a rest. You know what I mean? I would. I would not just in a cup games. I mean, I know he's going to play against Wigan. I mean, come on, everyone knows that. You know what I mean, and by the way, the Wigan game, it's, if I'm not saying, it's the 15th, Sunday the 15th of Feb. It's a good thing that, because I don't think my missus would like it if the game was on the 14th of Feb. You know what I mean? You all know all that day is, but anyway, Valentine's Day is every day for me as far as I'm concerned. Agreed. Norgard has been a stand-up player, professional. Yeah, he has. He really, really has. You know. So yeah, like I was saying though, I mean, this competition means the world to me, and the reason why it does is because as long as I've been an Arsenal fan, it was Terry Neal, and then Terry Neal got sacked, and all I remember as a kid was just we were we were struggling in terms of, we were very, very inconsistent when it came to the league, and we had some good players, but just didn't play well as a team. And the cup competitions, we weren't doing so well in them. And Don Howe, when he because he'd been an Arsenal coach for years. I'm sure he was a coach. Yeah, he was. He was a coach during the Bertie Mee era in the late '60s, early '70s. And then when he managed Arsenal, I know it was different, but and he stepped down. He stepped down in '85, '86 season, and we had I think we had Steve Birdshaw who was caretaker manager, and I think we finished seventh in the league in '86, and then we got knocked out by Luton, I think, in the fifth round of the FA Cup. I couldn't remember who knocked us out of the League Cup that season, but then we were just a team that just had good players, experienced players, great youngsters. Rocastle, I mean, Don Howe gave Davies a Rocastle. Rocastle was a permanent fixture inside '85, '86. Tony Adams in and outside, Martin Keown, and then as well, Martin Keown then went to Aston Villa when George Graham came along. But I think George Graham always wanted him back. So when George Graham came to the club, it's just that I was watching more highlights because I hadn't been at Highbury yet, and seeing highlights, and then we were live against Tottenham later in the season, and with some of the highlights and goals, and we were top for a few weeks. We fell away. We had an experienced squad with some experience, but the Littlewoods Cup was just inspiring that season, because with the Littlewoods Cup, the League Cup, I remember we got the quarterfinals, and I think we beat Forest in the quarterfinals. And then I was thinking, wow. And for me, I never, as a fan, experienced a semi-final before, And tell a lie, it was my second, because there was United, and we lost to Man U in the FA Cup semi-final, in 1983. But this felt different. I mean, we had Spurs over two legs, and they beat us 1-0. Clive Allen scoring. They beat us 1-0 at Highbury. And then the second leg, and they were both live on TV. And no Sky, there was no Sky then. And then in the second leg, we went 1-0 down, so what, 2-0 on aggregate. And I thought, there's no way back for us. No way. I thought, we cannot lose to these lot. What's going on? And then Viv Anderson pulled one back, and then in the second half, and then Niall Quinn scored after it was a great cross from Rocky. and I'm thinking it's 2 on aggregate, and then extra time came along, and I'll tell you what, right? My brother Damos, if I'm sure he remembers this, but it got to the point where I was only 12 at the time, and I got so nervous, and I thought to myself, oh no, I couldn't watch extra time, so I went out. I just went out the front where I lived, where we used to live, looked like Brookside, and I was playing football. You know what I mean? I just went out and played football with my brother because we couldn't watch the game. It was just nervy. And then we came back in, and it was like 2-2. So it was a replay. Replay. It was toss a coin. White Hart Lane again. Oh boy. And then we won. We won 2-1. Allen scoring in the first half, and then Clive Allen, that is. And then Ian Allinson came on for Charlie Nicholas, who got injured. And Ian Allinson, who was the forgotten man, and I think that he was our top scorer the last season before I think with 10 goals. And he scored to make it 1-1. And then Rocastle scored right at the end, and that goal is iconic. And I just remember going to school, bragging about the win following day, because I remember I was listening to it on Capital Gold Radio, then watched the highlights, and then I was thinking, we've got Liverpool in the final, and I'm like, wow, Liverpool in the final, and they were the favourites, and then winning that game 2-1 we were the first team to break Ian Rush's sequence of every time he'd scored, Liverpool never lost a game. Didn't get to Wembley that day. But it was just, it was just a wonderful feeling watching that game on TV and Arsenal winning the trophy. You know what I mean? And for them players, they tasted success, and it's like you could see they wanted more. You know, and George Graham as well. I think with George Graham, when he first came to the club, I think he was the kind of person that would always he was a hungry manager. I know he'd managed Millwall and then came to us, and he was a winner as a player, and yeah, he it's like he was building something, and then 2 seasons later, obviously we won the league. So the League Cup always has great memories for me. And then we got to the final the following season, and then lost to Luton, God knows how. But yeah, so no, getting to the final. Every time we get to the finals competition, it does mean the world to me. But the fact that we've only won it twice is criminal. So hopefully we can win it for a third time. You know, hopefully we can. Yeah, Norgard's been a stand-up player, professional. No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. He has been. You know, I just rate him highly. Seriously, is that why is so defensive these days? Because the club brought him back, and he went on to win so much. Well, yeah, I think so. I think so. You know what I mean? You do. Big up, Tabs. This is my Hammers buddy. But see, we did what they couldn't do at the weekend, but they deserve to get something out of the game on Saturday anyhow. But you know what? They'll get out of relegation. Yeah, difficult conditions, not the greatest game. Arteta took a bit of a risk with those tactics. Chelsea weren't brave enough for 80 minutes. It's done now. Time to enjoy the final. Get some rest, mate. Yeah, I won't be going to sleep just yet, my friend. Yeah, Tabs watched the game with me. But yeah, I'll be going on Gary's channel in a little while anyway, and I'll be in the background supporting the lads, and they're sure they'll be giving their own take on the game today. But listen, I am gonna head off anyway. Hopefully, I should be back tomorrow. Try and see if we can get a few guests and dissect the game as well. And yeah, just fellow Gooners, just enjoy tonight. Enjoy tonight. I've got the only negative is me for me was the performance, but we're in the final, and and I can't complain because we used to do that in the past really, when there were times where we didn't have a great game in the FA Cup semi final against Spurs, and we got through to the FA Cup final. Didn't play well, but we got the job done. You know what I mean? So yeah, come on, you Gunners. Big up to BX every time. So yeah, listen, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Um, and just yeah, I don't know what times yet, but just look out and sorry, and ooh, we'll definitely talk some more anyway. But we'll just go through these comments there before I sign off. I'm all well and good answer. How are you? Question at the start. Oh yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, man. Nah, hope you're good, man. Hope you're good. Chris, we've got to get you back on the stream, man, so we can, or maybe we can have an Arsenal Liverpool chat. I know we're not going to face you for the rest. Actually, you know what? We'll probably will face you at some point, and we'll probably get beaten by you in the Champions League. No, you know what it is, right? It's something that Kenny Ken said the other day, and he's right in terms of with the last 16 Champions League, or if we get to last eight, avoid we got to avoid English clubs because, and they are, and he's right, they are the key Achilles heel because, boy, we've never beaten an English side in European competition. We've never beaten an English side, and I do get that. I do get that, and I'm with him on that because I wouldn't want to play in English. I wouldn't even want to play Newcastle in the last eight. Yeah. See, even the quarter final against York, Chris, in 2008, I was actually confident. I thought we'd win that game, but we drew 0-0 at home, and I'm like, oh god, we made it hard for ourselves because the round before we beat AC Milan very convincingly. So yeah, I was very disappointed with that one in 2008 season. So soon we won it in 2005. Yeah, that's so true, so true. You know what I mean. But anyhow, listen, man, but thanks for your tuning in. I really appreciate that. And big up yourselves as well. And for others who haven't, please like, share, subscribe. And I'm out. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Or later, I should say. Take care.